welcome back to episode 2 with ToxICK Twins podcast with Brooke and Carissa.
Sup?
We just want to start off by saying a massive thank you to everyone who listened to our first ep. It's a little bit crazy on how much support we got. So thank you. We are completely shocked.
Honestly, it's overwhelming. Like
Very
the messages,
overwhelming.
the comments, everything. Like we are thankful for the feedback we got. Obviously, we are not audio editors. We are not anything to do with technology.
This is very new to us. We've obviously gotten a bit of feedback about our sound. If you listen to our first episode, you know that we struggled. We struggled to get everything set up. We were only really using one microphone when we had two. We were in the dining room, which is very echoey.
Very close to the kitchen, so that's how we got all our echoes.
But now, as you can see, if you're watching, we're in the lounge room now, so hopefully this will contain some of our sound. We're not rich, can't afford a proper podcast room with some soundproofing, so hopefully this is a little bit better. But you know, you make do with what you got.
Yeah, exactly. So be patient with us, but also again, let us know if you can give us some tips or anything like that on how we can improve stuff. But yeah, we're about to dive straight into episode 2. Beautiful. Okay, so basically, I asked our Instagram followers on ToxICK Twins podcast Instagram. If you're not following it, please do it. Come on, get behind us.
Get onto it.
So before the podcast started, we asked if you had any questions for us or topics we should talk about. And one of my friends actually called me out and was like, you need to talk about your A to Z list that's on your notes, which is quite a big list now, if we're being honest. Most people that are close to Brooke and I would know about it. If you're a guy, you definitely know about it because you're on it. Let's be real. Basically, it is obviously your list of people you slept with. Let's be real. It's counted in order of obviously when it happened. Brooke's is quite in depth. Let her explain hers for you.
Okay, can we first of all say this is quite popular for girls to do.
It is.
So please don't be shocked if a girl turns around and says, oh yeah, you're on my A to Z list, or you're in my notes, or anything to do with anything like that. It is quite common.
It's super normal.
Don't come at us.
Yeah, don't at us.
Being like, oh, you know how many people you sleep with. Like, it's actually quite common. So
it is. Be happy. Be
happy. You're gotta mention.
You're a star though.
So obviously mine isn't as like how can I say? I've been in 2 long-term relationships. Both of my relationships have been between 5 and 6 years. So this is very, very new to me. And the only reason why I have it is because of this twin year.
Oh my ear.
I did not care for this, did I?
No,
I did not care.
Like, it looks cool, but why?
I didn't care at all at the beginning, but I saw how much fun she was having ticking off the alphabet.
It's safe. You need to sometimes be able to keep track.
Look, it's good. If you are worried, if you missed a period, or if something's happened, you can always backtrack. Mine's a little bit different to Rissa's. I obviously take notes on who I have slept with, but my dates, I note down the dates and how many times. Specifics, purely because if something happens, I can backtrack. Or if Rissa and I are talking about, oh, who did we sleep with on this week, or how many times did we have sex this week, we can go back and I look at it, and normally she can put 2 and 2 together and kind of you can work out yours, and work out. But yes, mine is not only your name, but how many times and what dates. So I'm a little bit specific.
Proper doctor's appointment, rather.
Yeah. So if my doctor asked me, who did you sleep with last time, I'd be like, oh, let me just get out my notes. Hang on, I'll tell you in a minute. So mine's a little bit different, but also mine's very fresh. So it's quite small. But look, it's good fun.
It is fun. It's cool to be able to track it, to be able to kind of have a laugh about it, because recently we were both kind of chatting about it, and I was like, oh, like, how many you at? Like, what's your number? And she told me, and I was like, oh my God.
She hit a milestone. She hit a milestone.
So yeah, if you've slept with a girl and you know she has a notes, like, you're on it. Let's be real.
Yeah, you're on it. You're 100% on it.
Mine's quite in depth. I wanted to have a bit of fun with it because, you know, you get a bit bored after you just keep writing names down. Let's be real.
Yeah.
I started mine actually from the start, like from the beginning, and it was just names to start with, but now it's proper, like, you can't really see it, but I'm holding it up. Luckily it's far away, so you can't see. But down the bottom, if you scroll past all the names, you can see check boxes A to Z, and next to them are all the dots of how many. Just because, you know, it's basically an Excel spreadsheet. Like, I need to see it. And I'm a visual learner. So
where am I going wrong?
Literally. People are quite fascinated every time I show them. One, because I remember all their names, which is quite crazy. And two, because they have some funny emojis. Like, to be real, it either describes you as a person or it describes the encounters we have. So someone has a magnifying glass next to their name, which I'm sure you can figure out what that means.
The poor man. The poor man, if he found out who he was.
And then there's just a few other ones, like someone's got a shark for Shark Week, someone's got a timer because you took way too long, and there's like a gorilla on there because some guy is so hairy. Like, honestly. So if you know me and you actually want to ask me about, you know, because you've been on it and you want to know your emoji, I'm happy to tell you. Just be ready for it, okay? Because it's funny. It's not.
Don't get butthurt if
not
it's not something that you expect.
Yeah, so we're pretty proud of that, but we kind of did it. I started it a while ago when I first came out of a very serious relationship, just because I was having trouble moving on and sleeping with other people. Because I think at the start you do feel quite embarrassed. You feel, I don't know, like kind of shameful after coming out of a relationship and having sex with a fair few people. You kind of like, oh, am I going to be labelled a slut? And sometimes, yeah, you are, because guys can suck, and so can girls. Let's be real. But, you know, we're all having fun. We're all being as safe as possible. And if it helps you move forward, like, go for it, honestly.
It's just a bit of fun. Like, honestly, I think in regards to, like, body counts and stuff, you're living your best life, like, just as long as you're being safe.
Yeah, exactly.
And just as long as you're, you know, watching yourself and looking after yourself, I really don't think it's that big of a deal. Like...
No, I agree.
Just have some fun with it. I mean, like I said, I didn't have it before meeting Riss. Like, that was kind of just something that she was just like, oh, just go for it. Just start writing them down. Like, you'll just see. And then you become more aware of it, and you're like, oh, I haven't gotten this letter. Maybe I should try for this person. It kind of gets you out of your comfort zone a little bit as well.
It does.
To just be like, oh, you know, I haven't slept with an E. Maybe I should, if I meet someone with an E, like, put yourself out there a little bit. So yeah. I definitely think that it's kind of grown my confidence, I suppose. Definitely. Like, I'm not encouraging, obviously, if you don't want to have sex with that many people, then please don't do it. But, you know, it kind of brought me out of my shell a little bit, especially because I was in such a long-term relationship. And Riz can vouch for me, like, I was that person that was like, no, I would never sleep with anyone unless I had feelings for them, and, you know, all of that sort of stuff. So, I mean, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But in saying that, like, when you're in such a long-term relationship and you come out and you explore the single world, it is crazy. It is absolutely crazy.
It's confronting. It's overwhelming.
Very confronting. But yeah, if it's something that you just kind of want to note down and have a bit of fun with, like, Briss uses her emojis. She just plays around with it. It's fun. And
it takes the seriousness out of it.
Yeah, it's not something that should be frowned upon. Never. I think, you know, guys can have sex with as many girls as they want, and there's nothing really said of it. Like, sometimes the girls will be like, oh, he's a bit of a player, like, he's a bit of a fuckboy, but you know, some guys like that. Some guys like that title of being a fuckboy, whereas it's completely opposite for the girls. So I feel like you know, if you and your girls are doing it together, which is what Rissa and I do, it's just something to have fun with. Like, if you want to have sex, have fucking sex. Just do it.
It's amazing. Like, if you know what you're doing, far out.
It's a human thing. Like, there's obviously science behind the brain and stuff, which makes it a little bit more complicated. But, like, if you're just doing it to have fun, just as long as you're being safe, do it. And do it how many times you want.
Yeah. Honestly. Like, no judgment here. If you have questions about anything, like, and if you do feel ashamed about that stuff, like, we're happy to talk about it. Like, at the start, I think Brooke was quite touchy with what she spoke about. Now it's like, how big, where, when.
Yeah.
Tell me everything.
Yeah. One of my best friends, her name's Jade. She will hopefully be featured on this one day.
You will be on it, babe, for sure.
She's my born friend. So obviously Riss is my best friend. She is my absolute everything. She's here. We see each other all the time. But JD is like my born friend. That's what we call each other, my born friend. She was there when I was born, so I've known her for 25 years. And unfortunately, she's not close. She's in Gosford. But every time we see each other, we're like the same. Nothing's ever changed. And she actually messaged me and was like, I'm so proud of you, how open you are and how you just like talk so freely about this sort of stuff now. Because you met me like a couple of years ago, I wouldn't say half the crap that I say now. No. It's crazy how Riss has changed my life so much. She's just opened me up a crazy amount, which I am so thankful for. But yeah, don't be afraid to talk about it. Like, if you need to talk to someone, if you obviously don't want to reach out to like anyone professional, like by all means, we're not professionals.
Oh no.
We're just here for like that big sisterly advice. If you need any of it, God, reach out.
Literally,
like, just reach out to us and we can guide you and advise you to the best that we can. So,
because it is all about satisfying you, boo. If you're with someone that's completely like, all right, I'm finished, out of here, give them the flick, because it is about you and how you can finish too. Pleasure is for women too. Yeah. Cool?
100%.
Remember that, guys? Go down on her first. Alright? If it's Shark Week, I get it. Don't do it.
But maybe avoid it. I mean, shower.
Like, who knows? Up to you.
If preference. It's all about preferences, really.
Lock your nose. It might be fine. Yes, perfect. You would have also seen on our Instagram, we put on a question story again, and we asked you to do the whole she's a 10 or he's a 10, and we're going to answer it. So, to start off this little segment, we are going to start off from the bottom. I'm going to read out one, Brooke's going to read out one.
Yep.
And we're going to give you our honest opinions.
Yeah, our honest opinions.
So we've got one of my friends coming in, and actually a guy I slept with recently. Good for you. You were actually really good. Congrats. So he has said he's a 10, but he says no to your late night booty calls. Honestly, that's a bit of like I think he's still like an 8, but like, if I'm wanting it, like, give it to me. Like,
yeah,
I'm the only daughter of like three children. Like, don't say no to me.
Yeah,
that's a thing.
I'm an only child, so I don't take no very very well. But
we're bratty.
Yeah, we're bratty. Yeah. I mean, decreases a little bit, but like, it depends on how much I'm in the mood, I suppose.
Yeah.
I suppose, like, if I'm like, oh, I could really go with it, then yeah, it's kind of like, oh, fuck you then.
Yeah, like, if it's a booty call for a reason. Like,
exactly.
In, you're out. Come on. You can go back to bed. I don't care. You can just lay there. I mean.
Yeah. No, just as long as you do the work, like, it's fine. But yeah, I mean, I guess it just depends.
Alright, next one.
Oh, this one.
Use that one. Yeah.
My girl, Abby. She knows. This was one that I was going to bring up anyway.
It's a common one.
Oh, it's such a common one. And I was talking to the boys at work about this today. And it is a very much our generation thing, but only uses Snapchat as his way of communication.
Oh, boy,
you could be a 10.
Toxic.
You would go down to a -5 at least.
You're in viruses.
It is horrible. I'm sorry. I would prefer to talk to you over text. Like, ask for my number or something. Like,
Even
just don't.
an Instagram message, like something.
Oh,
like
just something else other than Snapchat.
It's
Like,
not the same. Like, if your Snap score is above, like, 800,000, like, get off it.
oh,
It's sad. We get it. But, like, quit it. Streaks were, like, 4 years ago.
yeah.
Keep
like,
up.
My cousin's 16 and he still does streaks. I'm like, come on, man.
Get with
Like,
the
I just,
program.
like, but that's their generation. Like, their
Yeah.
generation is very much Snapchat based, which I get. But your 20s,
Oh.
like, if you're 25 or 26 and you're still using Snapchat as your only form of communication or, like, main form of communication, it's still, like, don't talk to me. Don't talk to me.
Red flag.
100% a
wave
red
it.
flag. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a no.
It's definitely no.
Sorry. Just don't do it. Don't. If you say, if we're chatting on, like, a dating app and you're like, oh, cool, what's your Snap?
What's your Snap?
Blocked.
Oh, gross. It's so gross, bro. It's
No
so
shit.
gross.
My beautiful friend Erin, who again was the one who asked me and called me out about my list. Yes, I'm calling you out now, Ez. Get ready for it. This is a trigger one for me. This is a personal
Triggered.
one. So it's a whole, he's a 10, but they drop ice cream in your car after you've already spilt milk in it. And this is painful.
Horrid.
You are literally like, I don't even want to give you a number because it's that low in the minuses.
Oh my
that I
god.
can't
And
do
if
it.
you guys have spilt milk in
Oh,
your car, Riz, I got into the car. Bear in mind, Riz had just gotten her new car as well when this had
Stop.
happened. She had spilt milk. Well, not she. Like, you didn't do it yourself.
No,
It
but
the
still.
milk had exploded from
Really hot day.
from work. But I got in the car and she was like, "Can you smell that?" And I was like, "Yeah, it smells like vomit."
Sick.
And she was like, "I haven't been sick in my car. Like, what is this smell?" And blah, blah. And I was like, "Have you spilled milk or something in it?" Like, and
No.
just didn't think of anything. We went to dinner, came back to the car, and the car still smelled. She was like, "No, I need to find the source of this smell." And there was a milk carton underneath her driver's seat that had exploded. What, from the morning of?
2 days beforehand.
2 days beforehand. So you can imagine the milk, 2 days old,
In carpet.
in carpet, like brand new carpet as well. But then this lovely man
Moron!
to drop ice cream not long after that. Like, so
Honestly.
milk just in carpet that's been in the sun smells like vomit alone.
Stop.
Then to get it cleaned,
Stop.
then to get ice cream dropped.
I have PTSD, to be honest. Like, I spent weeks cleaning my car. Like, there was bicarb in there. There was
no.
everything. There was lemon. There was everything. There was toast in there at one point because someone was like, it'll absorb it. And it didn't work.
Horrid.
It was awful. And this guy I was seeing, and he spilt ice cream. And I'm no joke. If you've seen me, I can be quite aggressive. Yeah? That's probably toning it down as well. I
Yes.
lost it. I slammed the brakes and lost my shit. Like, that was it. If everything else that gave me an ick before that, you know, I could have gotten past it, but that's it. Draw the line. You messed with my car, especially after I did all that with it. Kick to the curb. Get out. Go back to wherever the hell you're from.
You can walk
Leave.
home.
Leave.
You're not close, but you can walk home.
It's a that. No.
Oh, so that's like a trigger.
Thanks, Erin.
You're a little angel for bringing that
No.
one up. Love you for that. Now this one, I personally think is like a bit of a 50-50. So she doesn't have her shit together. Now, I think there is a very, just like, with our generation, people just expect us to have our shit together.
At this age.
At this age. I'm 25 and I have only just gotten into a job that I didn't really think that I would see myself in, and I like it, but I have never, like, I've had hobbies and I love doing things and, you know, blah, 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 but I wouldn't consider myself having my shit together.
Oh.
Like, I think I'm very far from it, and I'm 25, and, you know, for people to kind of be like, so you get one way, you get the other. Like, 25, you really should have your shit together, and then you've got, oh, you're 25, you're so young.
Yeah, exactly. You never get
Don't
in between.
stress.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it really just depends. Like, I look at myself, and you as well. We've got solid jobs.
100%.
we're living life, like we're doing well for ourselves, we're saving,
Literally.
like, you know, we're doing all this stuff. What is considered having your shit together?
Exactly. That's what I mean. Like, I get it if she is, you know, quite reliant on you. She's very dependent on you. Like, I get that. I've been in that stage, 100%. But I think it also depends on how old you are and the people you're going for. Because, you know, as girls, you know, we go for younger guys because, damn, why not?
Normal.
That's a green flag. And a lot of the time, no offense, boys, your maturity level is mine is 3 years off your age.
Yeah.
So, you know,
but
girls
again,
are different.
we could be the same.
Probably.
There's girls out there that could be my age that have the maturity 3 years younger.
And that's it. It's a mixed bag.
It's so mixed.
You got to get your hand at the good ones. And
You've got to pick a good one.
If you don't, I'm sorry, but don't generalize it. But again, if you don't have your shit together, yeah, it could be a bit of a turn off, especially when it's like you're a mummy's boy and you're really relying on your mum.
Yeah.
Fuck no.
Yeah.
It's like a 2 out of 10. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
And girls,
I think there's certain points.
Yeah.
There's certain points. I think instead of like generalizing it, I think that definitely needs to be spoken about, because I feel like a lot of girls in particular, I mean guys as well, like we have a lot of pressure, especially being in Sydney as well, being like, oh, you're at a certain point, like you should be settling down, you should be having like
popping out a child,
like having a child, and like being on the path of like buying a house and all that sort of stuff. And society has definitely put a lot of pressure on to our generation to be just like, you should have your shit together by this certain age. And like I think there's a difference. It depends on kind of what you're talking about in terms of having your shit together. Because if you're like, I mean, we go out every week, and I think people need to I think people need to realize as well with us, we go out and we have a good time.
Oh, huge.
Like we have a good time, and that's what we do when we go out. I feel like people look at us and like, oh, we're alcoholics, and like,
and they're on the prowl. That's all they want to do.
And that's all you do on the weekend. No, Chris and I actually genuinely go out to have a dance, to have a good time, and to have some girl time.
Literally.
If we end up seeing someone, or if we end up like hooking up with a guy, cool, sick.
Bonus if they're like brothers or
duos. But like, we don't go out purely to just write ourselves off or anything like that. Like, you could look at us, if you follow us on Instagram, you could look at us every weekend and go, they don't have their shit together because they go out partying every weekend.
No.
We don't go out, our intentions aren't to go out to get absolutely shit-faced. No. We go out to have a good time. I drove
last time, yeah.
Last weekend, not weekend just gone, the weekend before. Like, I go to Manly and I don't drink.
It's crazy. I was so stunned by it when she first said it. I was like, so what?
It's like, it's purely just to spend time with my girls and have a good time.
And it's possible.
So,
like,
it's so possible. Like, and that could be like a whole different episode. Yeah. I could talk about that for days. But like, yeah, it really just depends on how you think of someone who doesn't have their shit together, because maybe you're just misjudging them. Maybe you've got a misconception of them.
For sure, but like, we do that though. So.
Yeah, of course we do. Of course we do. Maybe you should just get get to know that person a little bit more before you go, oh, she doesn't have her shit together, purely just by looking at her Instagram stories and be like, she's going out again.
Exactly. Don't judge a book by its cover.
That's right. Because we're not that bad. We're actually quite good people.
On a minute. Oh, you're pushing it. Okay, we're going to do a few more, and then we're going to do a few of our own. Mm-hmm. My little sister, who's actually not my little sister, but basically is, her name's Gemma, she has put, he has long nails. Oh my god. If you have like long nails, like I was watching Stranger Things and like Vecna has like long nails and I actually wanted to kill myself.
Oh, it's not a vibe. It's not a vibe. But then like, I don't know, the guys think the same with us as well. Like if if you have like, I don't think ours are bad. Like, I mean, ours are like
claws at the moment, that's different.
But they're not long.
No.
Like anything longer, I find it an ick as well. Like if girls have like,
how do you use that? How do you become a pen? I'm sorry, but how do you touch yourself?
How do you do anything? How do you wipe your ass?
I struggle.
Like, how do you do anything?
There? Like, what do you mean? Anyways,
but yes,
it's not a vibe, guys. I don't want you to be fiddling around playing the guitar, and I get scratched.
yeah, it's not a thing, especially for a guy. It's not a thing.
Please don't.
I don't know what you guys get out of it, but
all right, Brooke, you pick another one, and then we'll do.
Okay, this one. So recently I've been talking about this one, and I kind of feel attacked. There were a few that I was just like, oh, that's a bit of an attack on me.
You could have just tagged her in it, to be honest.
Yeah, just maybe send it to me next time. That they live at home.
Oh, it gets me. I'm sorry. I love you, and I can deal with you. I love your rents because like they're like my family. But like, if it was a guy and he's like, "Oh, I live at home," I'm like, "Oh."
Yeah, I see. We were talking about this, and it is a little bit different from a guy's perspective,
standard.
but it's also a double standard. Like, I live at home because I love my parents. Like, I'm really, really close to my parents. Like, obviously, a lot of people move out not only for the freedom, but because they just don't have the relationship with their parents that they have to stay. But if you listen to the first one, like, I'm 25, I still live at home with my parents, but my mum, now my dad, know every single in and out of my life.
Yeah.
Like, you could ask my mum a question about anything and she'd know about it. Like, she'd be able to give you an answer. So, like, I get from a guy's point of view, it's probably not great from, like, a girl. But then if I'm obviously always the one that's like, oh, hey, like, I can come to you.
Yeah,
which
exactly.
I kind of works out anyway. Like, I don't really care if you don't come to me. But if he lives at home, I'm sorry, but like,
I can't help it. It's true.
A hotel room is just, it's expensive.
Oh,
Done
you
it
would
before.
know.
And it's just, I mean, it was worth it. It's okay,
What,
but like,
$400 night out?
yeah, well, it was ended up being more than that, wasn't it, with the drinks included? So,
It's not worth it,
hey,
guys.
I didn't actually have to pay for the 4. I only paid for half of it. But still, it's still expensive. It was in the city as well, so it was expensive. But yeah, it is a little bit of a ick, but
It is an ick.
you work around it. I feel like you work around it, but you know, it's okay.
There is one more that we actually are both kind of probably on different ends of the spectrum with, but there is one that says she believes in star signs. So, look, I'm not a big believer in it. I'm definitely an Aries for sure, 100%. You meet me anywhere and I'm probably going to punch you somehow. I'll try and want to get in a fight with you because I like to argue. Could be me being Italian, I don't know, but I'm aggressive and I enjoy it. So I can read it and be like, yep, I relate to that, sure. And you know what? If a guy I'm into, I'm like, oh, let's check the compatibility.
Yeah.
Everybody's done it, okay?
Yeah,
Don't
of
at
course
me.
you have. Don't lie. Don't lie that you haven't done that.
Brooke's more into it than
Don't
me.
bullshit.
For sure.
I wouldn't say that I'm very much like look into it, like nitty gritty stuff to be like, I know every single trait about every single star sign. I'm not like that. I can't be asked.
She doesn't have crystals either.
Don't have crystals.
That
one of my friends from my previous job is very much into that, but not for that reason. It's for another reason. But yeah, like I'm not into the point where I'm like, oh my God, like I could tell you everything about an Aries because I can't. Only reason I would know an Aries is because I know her. And then I know like 1 or 2 male Aries. So like I like can base it around experience.
Yeah.
But I'm the same. I look into it and I'm like, oh, what star sign are you? Or if they tell me their birthday, and I'm like, oh, okay, you're this. Like, how compatible are we?
Yeah. But everyone does it.
But otherwise, I don't look too much into it. But like, I'm not the first. Like, if I'm talking to someone and be like, first chat and be like, oh, okay, so what's your stuff? I'm not like that.
No, you can't. You can't do that. It's not like a whole.
But there's people out there that are like that.
Yes, 100%. Like, charge those crystals, babe. You do you.
Yeah.
Like, if I come across you, I'm gonna throw them away. Like,
Yeah.
If a guy has them as well, I'd probably cry.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, fair.
No,
that's fair. But yeah, I think that's like a. Personal preference. If that's what you're into, then I'm sure you'll find someone who's into it as well. So it's not a bad thing. Again,
you do you.
But yeah, no, I'm interested in it, but I'm not like obsessed.
Yes,
there's a difference.
Of course,
there is a difference.
Of course. So a quick few from us before we move on. The biggest one for me is like he's a 10, but if he's got a Samsung.
we spoke about this yesterday, and look, I can't really talk, to be honest.
What?
Tristan had a Google, and I was with him for almost 6 years. He was Android. He was Android.
No wonder it didn't work.
Hey,
no,
he's okay. He's alright. I was with him for almost 6 years. So, but
change to Apple or chuck it in the bin.
We spoke about that last week.
Don't.
Apple all the way.
It's a 2.
Yeah, it's a 2. It's a 2. One that actually I got on our post was when he doesn't kiss you after you go down on him, but expects the opposite. So once he goes down on you, is okay with obviously kissing you and us being like,
what is that, by the way?
whatever.
What is it? Boys, please, someone write into us and tell us what's the difference between you going down on us, and apparently we smell like fish and everything in between of that, whatever, and we still kiss you because, you know, don't ruin the momentum. And then when we're like, cool, you've finished in our mouth, and we've obviously taken it like a champ, and you're just like, oh sorry,
don't come near me.
Brush your teeth first. Like,
don't be a child, alright?
honey, I'm allergic to peanuts, and a lot of the time, if someone's eating a peanut, I'll probably still kiss them afterwards. Because grow up.
Seriously, it's just not a thing. Like,
you're a child.
Yeah,
if I've just gone down
child.
and accepted whatever you've just given me, because a lot of the time you are pushing our heads down to the point where my throat is going to cave in.
Yeah.
And you're just like, nah, sorry, I don't really want to taste myself. Get over yourself. If you could, you would put your head down there yourself. So shut up.
You
Okay?
wanker.
Get over yourself.
Yeah, dickhead.
Our favourite one, though, that we can both relate to is like, he's a 5, but he could pay for your boob job.
Oh, my lord.
You're welcome, by the way. If you want it, we want it.
Shit.
Let us have it. Come on.
Yeah, come on,
I don't want a
man.
sugar daddy at this age. Don't need it. I mean, could.
We could. There's options there. We definitely could, but we choose not to.
Okay, so then we're going to move on to red flags for both of us. Obviously going to be a quick one. So I think a few red flags for me would be if he's got a mullet, but like, that's a good red flag. Like, I'm about it. I'm about a dirty little mullet.
Yeah, so I personally don't like them. I don't think it's a red flag. I just personally don't love them. Like, you have to really suit them for me to be like, oh yeah, you're decent. I just, I don't know, it's just me.
Like the dirty mo. Sometimes I'm like, oh, my bed is like just in fresh water.
Yeah, nah, it's just not, I don't know. That's just me though. Like, by all means, like, obviously complete opposite. Loves them, not 100% fan.
I also think a red flag for me is if you drive a Hilux.
Wow, you weren't saying that the other day.
It's true, I actually couldn't go call Brooke and I was like, he drives a Hilux, oh my god. Yeah, so if you're driving a ute and you're like, oh bro, I've got a Lux, like, go away, like, go. You've probably got like 20,000 DNA samples of girls in there, like, fuck it up.
Yeah. No, I don't know, like, I don't, like, I was trying to think of my red flags today, and like, the main one that really sticks out for me is that if he just doesn't respect his family or isn't family orientated, like, that's quite big for me. Like, I'm quite close with my family.
Yours are quite good. Mine are literally like stupid.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think obviously because I'm so used to being in a relationship that, like, I look at stuff.
Yeah, from more
like
like
more
relationship side.
Yeah. I haven't really had like enough experience, I suppose, being the single, like, in the single life, being like, oh, what's a red flag type thing.
Yeah, fair.
I think, but like, still, like, I look at people and I'm like, okay, like, what's your relationship with your family? Like, just out of general curiosity, like, because it actually really interests me on how they are with their family, and it actually makes me look at them more as a person, to be just like, what do you like?
Which is fair.
Because, like, if you don't have a good relationship with your family, not a good relationship, but just like the respect levels of the family, like, if they're close to 0, then you're trash to me, to be honest. Like, I'm just going to put you in the bin myself.
Put him in the bin.
Yeah.
Throw him away. We have also been told that we are red flags. I'm not one to shy away from being told I'm a walking red flag.
She got butterfly tattoos.
I got
a
all
rose
the
tattoo
going on.
So do you.
But one of my friends today, actually, in the gym, was like, you know what a red flag for girls that I think is? Like, not you based on what you do, but mainly because, you know, the girls that wear their Apple Watches out with a dress. And I'm sorry, but smart kids
us
over here.
Yeah, no, it's us.
It's us. And I'm sorry, yeah, maybe it doesn't look good. Maybe it's a bit of a iffy little fashion statement, but I'm sorry, like, I want to be able to, like, you know, see how many steps I've done.
I was just like, I gotta get my steps in. I sit at a desk all day. I need to get my steps in when I go out.
And we run. Like, we're running from Wolfie to Stain. Like, it's cold.
Legit. We've got to warm up before we start dancing.
Close those rings, boo. I don't know if you do it. Close it. Keep it on during sex, by the way. It actually gets a
Yeah. Yep. Get your heart
and your
rate
socks.
up,
Keep
so.
Alright, so then we're going to move on to icks.
Mm-hmm.
Brooke, what is the worst ick you reckon you've gotten?
The worst ick that I've gotten. Oh, I wouldn't know, to be honest. I have a few.
Okay.
I have a few icks. I haven't really thought of one in particular. Again, I was talking to the boys at work today, and I was saying an ick that actually just like really puts me off is that if we're out and you could be a 10 out of 10, but if you have no rhythm when you dance, I'm sorry. I mean, you don't have to like.
This is weird.
Being like a really good dancer. Like, I don't expect you to like break out into breakdance or like.
That's also
whatever.
weird. Don't do that in the club.
No, don't do that.
Sorry, that's weird.
But like, if you just can't like dance or have like any sort of rhythm with the girl, like it just turns me off. I'm sorry. Like, coming from a dancing background as well.
Oh, here we go.
I'm like I know how to like move my hips when I'm dancing.
Ooh.
So
Guys,
if you can't, if you just can't like move with me, don't touch me.
It's like grinding up against a pole. Like, what's the point?
It's just I might as well just go to her.
Oh, 100%.
Like,
we've done that as well.
Seriously, like, I don't know. That's like one that I was thinking about today, and I was just like, if you got no rhythm, like when a guy can dance or when he's got rhythm.
Oh, fair.
Chris Brown,
Breezy.
Trey Songz, like you get
Oh, hang on a minute.
and you
Flood
look
water.
at oh my gosh, you get any guy that actually knows how to move. Like, don't talk to me because I'll be
I think she
passed out. Like, it's just a massive turn on if you can do it. So, if you can't, I'm sorry. Don't look at me.
Take notes.
Don't look at me.
For me, I think the icks I get very easily.
I think
Way
our
too
icks are
easily.
very, like, you can piss us off, like the slightest bit and go, nah.
Easily.
You snore? Ick.
Oh.
You drop ice cream on the floor of my car?
Oh, stop it. I think the worst one that I don't like, that I got, and I don't understand why I got it, but you just get it, is when, obviously, I had someone stay over, which is rare, again, don't fuck it up, which he did, and he just was getting ready to go to work at like 5 a.m. because he's a tradie, and the dick turned the light on. Like, I'm sorry.
No, that's just pure
I'm
ignorance.
sorry.
Like, that's just the respect level is
Put your flash
0.
on. Even then, you've done it enough. Do it in the dark. Like, what do you
Or
mean?
just go
leave
grab
the
your
room.
stuff and go to the bathroom, which is in the next room.
I was so angry. I was full just like, how long does it take you to get ready? Because fuck off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
No, it's
biggest
not it.
ick ever. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Have respect. Come on, manners.
Yeah, manners.
Manners.
Even-
Even sleep, you don't turn a light on.
Especially when you're at someone else's house.
Yeah.
Like, fair enough if you're in your own. I mean, but still.
And
But
don't
still.
make so much noise.
Yeah. No,
Oh
it's
my
not a
God.
thing. We could talk about icks and red flags
Yeah, God.
for forever, but we've already been talking for almost 40
have.
minutes, so.
We have. But the funniest ones that we've given, guys, the funniest icks we've given, for me, I got told that I prioritise gym way too much. And
Which,
gave
can
someone
I
an ick.
say, actually, I used to get quite annoyed at Tristan about that.
Yeah.
Like, when we
fair.
didn't live together.
But I'm not dating them.
Yeah, no, that's different. It's different when you're not dating them.
I just want games.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I kinda
Especially
wanna
in
look
today's
bigger
society.
than
Like,
guys.
everyone goes to the gym these days, so.
Your one's the best
Get
one.
over it.
Your one is the best one.
Oh, someone got... And you'll notice that we do it a lot. Like, especially me. Like, every second word is like, bro.
It is.
It's bro. And I got told, like, third hand. So he told his mate told Chris's roommate, and then they told me
Slimy.
that he got an ick from me because I called him bro. I'm sorry, but what? Where's the banter at it, bro? Like, see?
Oh, there it is.
There she is. But like, let's just banter.
But
Like,
guys
if I
do
could
it.
grow-
Guys say mate. Like, guys
Oh.
say... Someone called me buddy the other day and I was like, let's go, put him on.
I will fight you. But
What's
like,
your
it's not even, I've actually had that conversation with a couple of guys and like, they're like, oh yeah, it's like such a bad habit, hey? And I'm like, it is. Like, it's not something that I do on purpose. I don't turn around and bro you because I'm trying to like get you to piss off. Like,
No.
I bro you because I'm like, it's a habit.
Yeah, you can't
And
help
you're
it.
a mate.
We obviously say to each other so often as well. So like, it's kind of just, it's second nature. It's, you know, people say random stuff like, you know, if someone says 100% or fair, like it just comes out.
Yeah.
You cannot help it. Like I said the C word, like just off tap. Like I
Mm-hmm.
cannot help it. And that's unattractive. But
Yeah.
like if you are one, you are one.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah. 100%.
I'm one.
100%.
There it
We
is.
all are.
Yeah, so hopefully we haven't offended too many people.
Yeah. Can we just actually make a disclaimer with our podcast that
Yes.
what we talk about, please take it lightly.
Please.
Like I said before, we're not professionals, so we're not going to give you advice that's kind of like, oh yeah, you should go and do this because we've done it ourselves. Like, we're not going to do that.
No.
So please take it lightly. We're here to have fun.
Yeah.
It's not anything, like, we're not here to offend anyone. We're not doing this for any of the wrong reasons. We're purely just doing it to have some fun.
Yeah.
Because Riss and I just chat so much shit that we just want to share our experiences with you guys. And like, obviously, you know, we want to talk about all of the serious stuff as well, like mental health, and we want to bring up all of that, the tougher topics, because it definitely needs to be spoken about. But please take everything that we say with a grain of salt. Like, it's just lighthearted fun.
It
honestly
is. It's banter, and it's just our experiences really, and it's how we obviously see it. And if you see it a different way, you definitely do, and that's completely fine. So yeah, I think that's a big disclaimer. That's just like, it's banter. It's us being as raw as possible, and that's what we wanted for this podcast, is just to be raw, real, and we're bitches. I'm sorry, it's true, but it's as a joke a lot of the time. Like, if you can't handle it, as we've said, get out of the kitchen. But again, nothing is ever an attack on someone. It's never going to be us being like, oh my god, this happened, I'm going to roast this kid. Like, it's not like that. It's fun, it's lighthearted. So get around it and get behind us, because it's just fun. And we just want you guys to be able to listen and hear that we're having a good time and we do it together, so that makes it even better. Yeah,
and hopefully you can relate to a level.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
That we're on. So if you obviously have something that's happened to you and you just want to talk about it to someone, that we're here.
Yes.
That's what we're here for. Just to help you as much as we can, but also to just have some fun with it. So
give you our perspective, being single girls that haven't been single very long, so it's quite new and it's fun, and we're going to learn along the way. So hopefully you guys are going to join the journey. But yeah, next week we actually want to hope to talk about a bit more serious stuff. Still have all our banter and our jokes in it, but yeah, we're just going to talk about, you know, handling a breakup, moving on, seeing other people move on, and yeah, so get behind that. Follow us on Spotify as well. Our Instagram and our TikTok have actually just all started to grow. Yeah. So get behind that. And yeah, we hope that, you know, you see us for how we are and you enjoy it.
We're hoping that you're enjoying this, and like we say all the time, if you guys have any suggestions or if you guys want to be a part of it or anything like that, head over to our Instagram, which is ToxICK Twins Podcast. Yeah, we'd really appreciate all of the feedback and everything that's, you know, happened over the past week.
Yeah.
So thank you again to everyone, and we will see you next week.
Yay! We love you all.
Bye, guys.
Bye.